Good morning, everyone. This is Chris around the ATL. Make sure you subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio YouTube page to watch. You can also listen to Around the ATL every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Sports Visions 92.1 FM. You can check that on the TuneIn app. So maybe there is a conspiracy. Maybe, I don't want to use the word curse, but maybe there's something to Atlanta sports and what's gone on for almost 70 years now, right? Right? Because what else could it be? Right? As of the moment of this recording, which is 8:22 in the morning, the Atlanta Hawks still have not done anything, even though they've put two players on hold from playing any basketball games, even though I don't believe they have any intention of trading those two players. So we're playing two men down, and whether or not those two players that are being held out have or haven't been productive, it's still, we're playing two guys down, right? We watched last night 6 players score 22 points combined in a 1 point loss. A couple of days ago, we watched a game, we lost by 5 points, and Hunter only scored 4. Last night, Trey had 32 and 12 or whatever it was, and Okongwu had 30 and 12, and Hunter chipped in with 22, and Dyson had his game, and we couldn't get no help from nobody else. And then a stupid call at the end of the game basically made us lose a game by 1 doggone point. And then on top of all of that, we've seen the entire league make changes to their teams. And I posted those on Intellect ATL on Twitter if you want to go look. And over time, it's embarrassing at this point of how many teams in the Eastern Conference alone have made changes just over the last 4 seasons as compared to what the Hawks haven't done. With having one of the best players in the NBA, which, again, you got the people who hate Trey, but it can't be contested. It just can't be. It can't be. But let's talk about the other teams in Atlanta. The Falcons have 2 Super Bowl appearances. One they were competitive in, and the other they were not. We have 4 NFC, off the top of my head, 4 NFC championship game appearances. We've won 2 of them, right? But again, think about since the 60s, what have the Falcons done? How many winning seasons do we have? How many division titles do we have? How many, again, NFC? We have 2 NFC titles to show for dozens of years. The Atlanta Braves have 2 world championships, and we know doggone well they should have 10, right? We had the best pitching staff of all time, basically, and we have 1 World Series to show for it. And then over the last few years, we've had teams that should have won, and we got 1 out of it. Maybe there's something to it. We lost our hockey team, right? Atlanta Dream still doesn't have a championship to show for all of their years of being in the WNBA, right? Atlanta United does have 1 MLS Cup, but then haven't been competitive since then. Until maybe now, they finally look like they made some moves that can actually push us a little bit, right? All we really have to show in Georgia are the 2 back-to-back national championships UGA was able to get for us, right? And now they're a perennial team that you have to look at. But that's all we got. Maybe there's something to it. Think about this. The Atlanta Hawks only have a handful of moves that made a difference in Hawks history. Think about this. Now, and again, you got to hear this out loud to really consider it. This past offseason, they made some moves that made the team better. We know that because they were beating teams when they were healthy. They were beating the East. They were contending. We were 5th in the East at one point, right? So those moves did work. Just wasn't enough, though. We needed to go all the way with it, and you know what I'm talking about. I won't get into that. Watch Around the ATL on YouTube. You'll see that. 2020, they made up for 2018 and 2019. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals in Trey's 3rd season in the NBA. His 3rd. You were 2 wins away from getting to the NBA Finals. And then we did nothing after that to follow up. The 60-win team. There was moves made prior to that season to get to that point to win 60 games, acquiring Paul Millsap for one, right? And others. But then didn't do anything the next season to avoid getting swept again. We got swept in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then the very next year got swept out the playoffs again by the same team, by the way, the Cleveland Cavaliers. We did nothing. We did nothing to improve. Nothing. Didn't matter to nobody. We were in the Eastern Conference Finals. You're one playoff series away from getting to the finals, excuse me, and we didn't do anything. Prior to that, you had the iteration of the Hawks where we drafted Al Horford and Josh Smith and all of them. You see how they progressed over a period of time. And then again, didn't do anything. Didn't follow up. Didn't get better. Well, all the teams around us did, and they won. Before that, you had the Mookie, Mutombo, Smitty team that was compiled and put together. Right? And still, they didn't do anything to advance. Just stayed pat. This is it. This is all we can do. This is all we can do, apparently. And prior to that, being able to get Dominique Wilkins. Now, count on your hands. It's not a lot. It's a handful, just like I said, right? And that's it. That's all we have to show for 60 years of Atlanta Hawks basketball, however many years it is. That's all we got. Now, I can do this for the Falcons. I can do this for the Braves, obviously, but at least the Braves have 2 championships to speak of. But again, it should be more. Should be more. Should be more. And with the Falcons, of course, I'll give you a couple. Brady Jarrett getting called for that penalty on Tom Brady. We had a chance that season, with all the foolery, we still had a chance that season to have a winning season. And that one game changed everything for us, didn't it? Right? We had no business losing 10 games in a row for 3 straight years. And if you remember how those seasons came down, there was a lot of things that could have prevented those 10 losses each of those seasons. And it didn't happen. Couldn't happen. Whether it be coaching, player, whatever. And then this past season was the year to fix all of that. Right? New quarterback, new coach and all that. And we know how it ended. And now we know exactly why. We all had speculations, but we didn't have no proof. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we get the proof and the solidification that, yeah, we were all bamboozled and lied to. We were sitting there watching those 4 losses in a row, and this is okay. Just okay. It ain't no big deal. And like I've been saying for weeks, during that period of time, 2 things can't be right. Penix was drafted 8th, and he's terrible. And Kirk Cousins is healthy and playing that bad, and we can't bench him because of the money. Again, he was benched, and Penix actually can play. And here it is, he was hurt. And he wasn't replaced. So either Raheem didn't know he was hurt, and he was doubling down on his quarterback, saying we're not going to make no changes, and Kirk gives us the best opportunity to win, or he knew, and it didn't matter to him. Either way, he should be fired. I say he should have been fired at the end of the season no matter what, because he simply could have benched Kirk, and we could have won 2 games and won a division anyway and made the playoffs, instead of just winning one more game from last year's record. 8-win team instead of a 7-win team. Everybody in that organization should be fired, and Blank should sell the team as far as I'm concerned. Just because of that. And as I've said on Twitter, again, until at ATL, everybody needs to give up their season tickets. We don't need to nobody needs to show up to Mercedes-Benz unless you're going to give us free tickets. Give us free tickets, maybe we'll show up. But we could watch the games on TV. Same for the Hawks. We could watch games on TV. I've been getting email after email from the Hawks talking about getting season tickets. And then finally I get this one email saying, well, this is your last chance. I'm like, why are you threatening me, sir? That's how I felt when I saw that email that I replied to yesterday. saying until the Hawks actually start talking and looking like they're going to try to win a championship, what motivation do I have to spend my money and drive 2 hours to a game? Because I don't live in Atlanta. And I said a whole bunch of stuff to that particular representative, and he hit me back and said, well, if it, things change, but thank you for the feedback, all this kind of blah, blah. I know that feedback ain't going nowhere, though. Puffy K don't care. The organization don't care, because if they cared, they'd be doing more. And again, as of 8:32, as far as I know, they haven't done a doggone thing. Meanwhile, we'll watch the Lakers rebuild the whole team overnight. Luka plays this Saturday, apparently. Luka asked for a lob threat. They went and got Williams from Charlotte, who's averaging 16 and 10. He be balling out with 25, 15 games and stuff lately, right? So Braun got him a whole new squad just overnight. I don't know if it's going to work, but at least they're trying. And that's with the Hawks. They don't understand. Try to do something. Try to do something worthwhile for your best player. Because all the other teams, their best players, they get good people around them somehow. Year after year, decade after decade. Decade after decade, the best players in the NBA continually get great, consistent players and or all-stars and or Hall of Fame players put around them. For decades, this has been happening. On Around the ATL, the episode that's going to air tonight, Jordan mentions how the Lakers have had all these iterations of great players over the years. Hall of Famers, decade after decade, somehow ends up on the Lakers. The Lakers about to get another decade they got Luka now. They've had LeBron, now they got Luka. Before that, it was Kobe. Kobe and Pau Gasol, and Kobe and Shaq. And of course, before that, they had Magic freaking Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The Lakers have had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, and Dwight Howard all at center at some point in their history. That's crazy, don't you think? Just a little bit, don't you? Just think about, again, I've done a show about center position alone, and I show, here's all the centers that the Hawks have had to go up against over the decades, and look who was going, Andrew Lang? Blair Rasmussen? For real? What are we talking about? I posted on Twitter a 1991 game against the Knicks, and Dominique Wilkins had 52 points in that game. 52! And they lost. Why? 2 other players on the Hawks squad had double figures. Kevin Willis with 20 and Blair Rasmussen with 12. You want to know how much Patrick Ewing had in that game? 42. So Blair had 12 and Patrick Ewing had 42. Nick had 52. And we lost the game. By the way, in that game, Gerald Wilkins had 26 in that game for the Knicks. Y'all remember Gerald? All these iterations of teams around the Hawks over all these decades, and we just never had a chance. Just never had a chance. Why can't we? Biggie said, one more chance. It's sad, really, when you think about it, just like that. Because that's the only way you can look at it, because that's history. And here we are again on the verge of wasting another season of talent on this team that was competitive. We were beating all the good teams in the East. It was the Hawks that was knocking out the Cavs and the Knicks and the Celtics and everybody. But here we are now, we can't win the game by 1 point just cause. That's not enough. Trey is averaging 30 and 12 in these last couple of games, and we still can't win a game. And again, and it's the most hateful thing. Oh, well, Trey is doing all this, but where are the wins at? Where are the players at? It's not 1 on 12, guys. It's 5 on 5. It's 10 on 10. It's 15 on 15. It takes a whole team. Michael Jordan doesn't win 6 championships by himself. He had Pippen, and he had really good players at certain positions that did their jobs every night, not once in a while. You don't win 6 championships with players going once in a while doing their job. If your job is to score 6 points a game, you need to score 6 points every game, not every 5 games. If your job is to get 7 rebounds a game, you get 7 rebounds every game, not just 1 in 10 games. And that's what the Bulls put together. They're specialists, they're players, they're bench. Bill Cartwright could hit a 10-foot jumper if he had to. He could. Horace Grant's going to get his numbers. B.J. Armstrong's going to do his job. Hollywood is going to do his job. Judd Bushler is going to do his job. Tony Kukoc is going to do his job. Dennis Rodman, he's going to get 20 rebounds every game. Every game, he's going to get his 20. And play defense. That's his job. His job ain't to score. Somebody else's, Paxton's job to score. Whoever is on that team with him, I can't remember. Scott Williams, Cliff Levingston. They're in there to do one thing. Create havoc out there. If that's what helps your team win, that's what you do. And we just won't build our team around the best passer in the league, who leads the league in 21 potential assists a game. We got so many people missing shots that Trae Young should be getting 21 assists a game. That doesn't make nobody mad. Just don't matter, huh? Or Trae should stop passing the ball 64 times a game and just shoot. Just shoot the ball, Trae. Average 50 a game for us. Maybe that'll help. It has to be one or the other at this point. Has to be one or the other. Trae Young is averaging 12 assists a game, but he should be getting 21. That many people are missing shots. I've shown this. I've broken it down. I've showed video of it. We're leaving 25 to 40 points a game on the floor sometimes, guys. If you watch some of the most recent episodes of Around the ATL on IMTN Worldwide Radio, you see me show you the breakdown. And in some of the games, I show you video of the shots that are missed. Wide open, all of them. Threes, dunks, layups. It's embarrassing. Just because we won't get more consistent players on the team, people who can hit shots, people who can hit shots in the paint, people who can hit shots from the free throw line. You're trying to tell me that Vucevic averaging 20 and 10 and 40% from 3 couldn't help this team right now? Because Trae would get 18 assists a game with just Vucevic being on the team. You can't rely on Garrison. Sorry. We haven't been able to rely on Bogey. Sorry, Bogey, but it is what it is. And Clint can't hit a shot to save his life. He's literally averaging barely nine a game. And for someone who can only hit shots inside, 57% field goal percentage isn't good enough. Why don't you understand that? He's not shooting 57% from the floor and then 45% from the rest of the field. He's 0% from 3. 0 for his career. This is the 2020s. This is not 1996 where that's acceptable and cool and all. When all the other bigs in the league can hit a jump shot. And if they can't, they can finish all their shots inside. They're shooting 71% from the floor. You see how that works out? There's a difference there. But you can't square up your shoulders and hit a 15-foot jumper if you're in the paint. You got to give the ball up. That ain't. You're playing 4-on-5. And we can't keep playing 4-on-5 or 4-on-10 because nobody else can hit no shots. We got 4 people who scored last night. Nobody else can hit a shot. Larry Nance literally had 1 point last night. He scored 3 points. We win the game. We win the game. He scores 3 points. Garrison scored 0. So maybe there is something to the conspiracy. Maybe there is. I gotta go. This is sad, y'all. And again, as of 8:41 this morning, no moves have been made for the Atlanta Hawks while the whole league is changed. Jimmy Butler is in Golden State now. Wiggins is in Miami. That helps Miami out. They got a new player who actually can play, who wants to play. Like, this is crazy what's going on. It's crazy talk. Bucks make a move. I don't know if Kuzma's going to help them out or not, but they're going to find out. They think he might help more than Chris Middleton was. Last year they went and got Dame. Is it going to lead to anything? I don't know, but at least they're trying. Look what the Knicks have done 4 seasons ago, where they were. You had pictures of Trae Young carrying Julius. That's his daddy. You had Trae Young with the WWE belt. And here we are now. But we didn't want to follow up. We didn't want to follow up on the fanfare. We didn't want to follow up on the competitive nature. What we had then, we didn't want to do anything. We just said, we'll just kind of, not going to improve now. And we just let the whole league carry over. It's even the Orlando Magic, even the Pistons now. Pistons been drafting out like crazy because they've been getting the picks. Then they made a few subtle free agent moves here and there. And look at them. They're above us too. Ain't that something? That's amazing. And the Bulls have completely just devastated their team, and we still can't overlap them. That's the most humiliating part of this whole debacle. Kings have remade their team. Look at the Kings. Guess we gotta go get Cam Reddish back, huh? I bet y'all want Kevin Huerter back too, huh? I did a whole show about Kevin. Y'all should go watch that one. But anyway, let me get out of here. Make sure you listen to Around the ATL tonight on Sports Vision's 92.1 FM on TuneIn app. You can also watch the live stream on IMTN Worldwide Radio on YouTube. Make sure you can follow on Facebook or Instagram, IMTN Worldwide Radio. If you watch this and you'd like to be a sponsor of the show, this is our 3rd show. We still have opportunities to sponsor, so hit me up. Wherever you're seeing this at, just hit me up on the DM and we'll talk. But maybe there's something to Atlanta sports and just being, it just ain't right, man. Like I said, I hate to use the word curse, but maybe there's a conspiracy. I mean, we're talking about multiple owners and multiple GMs, all of them making bad decisions all the time. That's just strange, isn't it? Powers that be, all of them, it's just this cloud of just mysterious fog that just says, nah, we can't make no good moves to benefit the team and the fans. We don't care about the fans. We don't care about the teams. We don't care about the players. It don't matter. We're just here. We're just here. That has to be unacceptable to somebody out there. Stop spending your money on a team that don't choose to invest in themselves. Why are you investing in them? Millions of dollars, season tickets, millions of dollars. If all of a sudden the State Farm was empty for games at a time, maybe that will wake up Wrestler. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Again, I don't think he really cares. When was the last time, John, time is out now. When was the last time you heard Tony Wrestler use the words NBA championship in a sentence? Someone go look that up and get back to me. When was the last time you heard the owner of the Atlanta Hawks, Tony Wrestler, say, I want to bring an NBA championship to the Atlanta Hawks. I'm doing everything in my power to bring an NBA championship to the Atlanta Hawks. Go and check that. Go and check that and see where we get with that. When was the last time we've heard from Tony Wrestler? What's Landry been saying lately to say that we're trying to do something? Where's the proof? Where's the beef? Y'all remember that commercial? Where's the beef? I'll talk to y'all later.